Dan Illman, Mike Beer kicking off a pick 5 at Keeneland on Bluegrass Saturday with Grade 1 stakes action. Race number 7's the Madison. Fillies and mares going 7/8 of a mile. $600,000 is the purse. Let's take a peek at this field. It is not the biggest field in the world, but you've got some quality horses in here, including last year's Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint winner. The number 2, Goodnight Olive, makes her seasonal debut, seeking her 6th straight win.
Yeah, just going to try to keep it rolling here, Dan. Just kept getting, every time that Chad sent her out there last year, she just kept getting better, culminating with a pair of major Grade 1 wins with triple-digit buyers. Way the horse to beat on the way back.
She'll be facing a Grade 1 winner going 2 turns. That's the number 3, Society, who will also be making her 2023 debut. Let's see how our friends at Timeform US believe the pace is going to shake out. They believe in this short field that it could favor front runners. And the number 4, Ugiri, is very quick out of the gate. She's coming up from her preferred Oaklawn surface. Maybe she can get to the front in here, but Society is no slow horse by any means. Although much of her racing has gone around 2 turns, I think she can be close up, cutting back to a sprint.
Yeah, me too. I think that's how you're supposed to look at it. I mean, Ujiri is pretty fast, Dan, and she's also, pretty talented in her own right. I don't think it would be a shock to see her come out of there running and make the lead. But I got to believe that as Asmussen is going to bring back Society in a Grade 1 race going 7 furlongs, she's going to break the gate running.
Cocktail Moments, the number 1, is your LP, your late pace horse in this race. If the pace heats up, she has the best late pace figures. And she's only sprinted once in her career. That was at Churchill Downs, her career debut, going 7/8 of a mile. And she rallied from left field to win that race. She has concentrated on 2-turn races and mile races since then, including this effort to close out her 2022 campaign. This is a 2nd-level allowance at Keeneland. And Cocktail Moments just asserts her dominance late in the game.
Yeah, I like this performance from her. She got a good trip in this race. It was, obviously the right kind of spot for her. This is that short stretch here at Keeneland, and she's just much the best here, taking over in this allowance race. A good performance. She's going to have to find a way to take a step forward here. I liked her career debut, that only time they sprinted her. I thought she looked really good winning that race, but they went a couple of 1-turn miles with her last year. I don't know. Those races weren't that great to me. I like her as a horse. I just don't like her that much in this race.
A Goodnight Olive returns to the course and distance of her big victory in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. She broke very well in that race, then settled in the second flight in between horses. She eased to the outside, turning for home, and once she struck the lead, she beat a pretty good field, Mike. A couple of next out winners, one of them Frank's Rockets, come back to win 2 Grade 3s this year with buyers of 105 and 101. She's obviously a talented horse. Will we get the best of her coming off of a layoff? We'll see.
I guess that's a fair question, but I mean, she just, really wins this race pretty easily. She got a great trip in here, but when it was time to go, she went, and she's much the best at the end. Just another really good performance for her. Again, it's when you just start taking apart her form, particularly the 4 starts last year. I mean, it's just really, really hard to knock her. She's got great tactical speed, so even if this pace winds up being slow, it's not going to affect this horse. All she has to do is come back ready.
You were on Society, the number 3, early last year after she won that Monomoy Girl at Churchill Downs. She did not have a good trip in the Coaching Club American Oaks, a race in which she stumbled at the start and then rushed up against Nest, going a demanding distance. She was very impressive winning the 2-turn 7 furlong Charlestown Oaks. She was very impressive shaking loose and winning the Cotillion and the Breeders' Cup Distaff. She set a legitimate pace in a race where they sort of swarmed her on the backstretch, and she understandably tired. Like you, I don't mind her going 7 off the layoff, and a good trip is coming.
It feels like it. I mean, again, I just sort of feel like, and I don't care that much about her Breeders' Cup at the end of last year. Prior to that, it just felt like she was just starting to get good. She's really fast early. She has at least the figures. I know their figures going longer, or at least 2 turns. She has the figures to suggest that she can go with Goodnight Olive if she's ready off the layoff here, Dan. And again, I just got to believe that if this is the race they're running in, she's gonna break the gate running here and try to make the lead. And if she makes the lead, she's dangerous.
Now, if she doesn't make the lead, the horse likely to make the lead is going to be the number 4, Ugiri. Now, while she's a graded stakes winner going 2 turns, she is 3 for 3 sprinting and just seems like a horse better suited to these shorter distances. Here's her most recent start at Carousel, where she showed fine tactical speed, sitting off of the speedy Pretty Birdie and getting by her late. She's won from on the lead. She's won from just off. She's a little bit underrated. This is going to be the toughest test of her career sprinting, to be sure.
It is. I like her though. I agree with you. I think she's better sprinting, and she's looked good winning both of her starts since they brought her back from the left. In particular, this one. I mean, the horse that she's leaving behind here, Pretty Birdie. She's just not that good. But she is fast, and I liked that earlier in that race, Ujiri actually used her speed up the backstretch and made Pretty Birdie made her rider have to use her to clear to the lead, and then just came to her outside and easily outfinished her. I thought it was a really good performance. This is a tough spot.
Hall of Famer Shug McGahee's the new trainer of the 5. Mary Quite Contrary. She's won 5 in a row, 6 of 7, and she looked very good winning the inside information last time out, going 7/8 of a mile. Now, you could argue that maybe the outside was the place to be at Gulfstream that day, and she did get a fast pace to close into, but once she got going on the outside, she blew by everybody. She's got some talent. She's underrated. Can she stay close enough to what could be a moderate pace? Or if the 3 and 4 hook up, maybe it sets up for her.
There's at least a chance that this race is going to set up for her. And then we'll see, we'll find out a little bit more about what she's made of, I think, in this spot. Like Goodnight Olive, she's 6 for 7 in her career, but her Rampart and inside information don't quite match up with the Ballerina and Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. Still ran pretty well in those races, has to improve in here.
Luca Panici retains the mount for Shug. Let's take a look at our top selections for the Grade 1 Madison kickoff leg of the Pick 5. I think if Goodnight Olive shows up with her good race, she's going to win this because I just like her a little bit better sprinting than Society, who I think has a chance to have a very good year in middle distance and longer races. Society might have the most quality speed, though. If she could dissuade Ujiri early, all of a sudden, catch me if you can.
Yeah, it's kind of just seems like this is a position where the one way to beat Goodnight Olive, Dan, is to catch her off the layoff and to get out in front of her on a solid pace here. And I think that's going to be Society's plan. Whether it works out or not, we'll see, but she'll be the better price.
3241 for me, 3241 for Mike, 2543 for me. It's the Grade 1 Madison on Bluegrass Saturday, a quality card at Keeneland. Good luck.